So, pretty rough morning along the central Gulf Coast, and as we show you the satellite picture, you can see that tropical storm Isidore has made its move over the land areas. It washed ashore several hours ago, continues to move inland across southern Mississippi. Here's the latest from the Hurricane Center. 10 a.m. advisory, Central Daylight Time, hot off the presses. 30.7 north, 89.7 west. That is 16 miles north-northeast of New Orleans, Louisiana. Top winds 60 miles an hour, mainly to the southeast of center over the North Gulf Coast, and the movement continues to be speeding inland, north-northeast at 14.
And Mark, we have continuing coverage of Tropical Storm Isidore this morning, namely out there in Gulf Shores, Alabama. And Mike Seidel joining us now. Mike, I have a question for you regarding, seeing as it's an R month, how are the oysters doing down there, the shrimp crop, the oyster crop? I would imagine they probably don't like all that fresh water draining down into the bays and estuaries.
That's certainly the case. Obviously, the boats were in yesterday and the day before, and they're probably in today, but they do most of their harvesting in the water, freshwater, although we did meet a few fishermen who do venture out in the Gulf, and today is not the day to do that. Check out the Gulf of Mexico. It's hard to even look that way because the sand is being blown horizontally, and it just stings your eyes, but you can see the surf has not calmed down a whole lot. We have noticed one thing. Even though the tide is coming in, the surge is backed off. We're not getting waves anymore rolling right up here to where we are, so that is a positive sign. Earlier, about an hour ago, we went up to the Gulf State Park Pier, and we, again, saw some incredible wave action, high surf. We couldn't go out on the pier. It's closed for safety reasons, but some very dangerous surf out there and a lot of breaking waves way out in the distance in the Gulf. We actually found some folks who were out checking out those incredible waves.
It's pretty powerful. This is the first, well, it's not the first tropical storm I've been through down here. We hadn't lived down here long, but this is the most powerful one I've been through. It's pretty amazing.
It's amazing what the power of water can do. These beach chairs were nicely stacked over there yesterday afternoon, and we've got them all spread around. We also have about 2 feet of sand which has been displaced from the beach, and this is something, just a safety tip. If you're going to be out on the beaches the next couple days, be very, very careful. A lot of debris, a lot of boards. These nails obviously could send you to the hospital for the old tetanus booster. Bill?
Okay, Mike, again, as always, very good advice from Mike Seidel reporting live on the Gulf Shores, Alabama beachfront there. Well, you can check out the projected path of the storm as it does move inland, plus find out how. Joining us now in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Mike, when is that next high tide coming in, anyhow?
Early this afternoon, Bill, but we don't think it's going to be as bad as last night. Already the water has backed off, even though the tide is coming in. We had low tide earlier this morning, and the water was still running up here on these waves. We're still getting some very strong wind gusts. These beaches are still getting pounded, and erosion has certainly been a big problem. There's the surf out there, and we actually saw guys on boogie boards. That is not the thing to do in a situation like this. It's very easy to be swept out and lose your life, but the water is not coming back all the way over the beach right now. But the damage has been done. A lot of sand has been piled up. This fence yesterday was up to about my chest. So you can see how much sand has been kind of moved from there and over towards all these hotels. Last night, severe weather. Now we're under a tornado watch now.
And that was Mike Seidel reporting live here from the Gulf Shores. And as you can see with those squalls in the area, that has disrupted our transmission there. So that is the situation. Still very squally here on the Gulf Coast. So those tropical storm warnings continue, even though the system has moved inland, as evidenced by Mike's report there. It's still pretty nasty here right along the immediate Gulf Coast. Here's our projected path this afternoon into tomorrow morning, taking the center of circulation through eastern Mississippi, through northwest Alabama towards middle Tennessee. So that means an awful lot of rain and strong gusty winds in these areas. Extremely hazardous. Extremely hazardous traveling conditions with floodwaters on the roadways, torrential rains, and strong gusty winds, too. That will knock down tree limbs and maybe even some trees here as you get the combination of a very heavy rain, loosening up the roof system, and these gusty winds coming on in. And there you can see those wind gusts still about 50 miles an hour on the coast of northwest Florida and lower Alabama. Circulation center moving into southern Mississippi. Look at the rain, though. With all that heavy rain, flooding a problem in
barely. First stop, though, the latest on Isidore, the center at 30.7 north and 89.7 west, roughly 60 miles north-northeast of New Orleans. Top winds are 60 miles per hour, They should come down pretty quickly later on today, however. And the movement now north-northeast to 14, pressure about 985 millibars. And that is about the lowest pressure I saw, too, over there at Boothville, as well as the Lakefront Airport in New Orleans when the system came in. Right now, tropical storm warnings, Morgan City, Louisiana, over to St. Marks, Florida. Tell you what, though, in Mobile, Alabama, that system going west of you, but Isidore still putting in south winds at 30 to 55 miles per hour, even now in the Mobile Bay area. System coming northbound, running north-northeast to 14 miles per hour. We have a big spread of influence, though, also a big feeder band coming ashore there in the Florida Panhandle. Watch out in western Georgia later on today. Here again is the system. Look at that thing go. It's way up there now. It's above Poplarville on the way to Jackson, Mississippi. Still pulling the rain in. The rain has been a major, major concern. Safe to say New Orleans has had nearly a foot of rainfall at the International Airport. Mobile, 9.5 inches. Hattiesburg, watch that area. East central Mississippi, flood warnings up. Plenty more rain coming for you guys as the day goes on. Now for the severe aspect of the system,